dating commandments revealed that you must begin applying to your own life from this point moving forward. So these are my top 10 dating commandments that you must follow if you want to be successful with very attractive women, hot women, just women, period. Okay? And you can trust what I say. I am a professional pickup artist, meaning I actually go out there and cold approach these girls. I've been doing this my entire adult life, approached over 10,000 women in my pickup artist career. So I'm not one of these dating coaches just kind of like hiding behind the microphone and pulling theory out of my ass. I actually go out, right? Every coaching video I do, like 90% of them, I'm constantly traveling. You guys see that. I'm always out. I'm always moving. I'm never really in the same location. Right? I could easily build a studio in my garage, but I don't. Why? Because I'm barely there. I'm constantly going out. I live what I teach. Unlike most of these guys, right? I actually live what I teach. So you could take what I say verbatim. You could take it as solid advice that is coming direct from the field, from actual in-field cold approach experience, and not theory that I'm pulling out of my ass, right? So let's jump into this. My top 10 dating commandments revealed. The first one, my first dating commandment for you, is that the girl needs to experience you versus you experience her. What do I mean by that? I mean that she needs to be reacting to you. She needs to be the one who is watching your movie, getting pulled into your reality, versus the other way around, which is what happens with most guys, most chumps who end up in the girl's friend zone, or who don't get the girl at all, or who get dumped by the girl, right? What happens is they slowly start getting pulled into her reality, and then all of a sudden the girl is no longer reacting to him. He is now reacting to her. And you might have been in this situation too. This is commonly where the girl starts cheating on you. She starts going out looking for the BBD. She starts going out looking to replace you, because now it's like she doesn't trust you to be a man, right? So I've told this to like literally every coaching student that has ever crossed my path. Is like, dude, in order to get the girl, because that's like the number one question guys ask me, how do I get this one girl? I always tell them, in order to get the girl, she needs to be experiencing you, she needs to be reacting to you, and not the other way around, like most chumps. And if you look at the guys who actually get the girl, even if this was you at some point, where you did get the girl, maybe you lost her later because you didn't follow my advice, but when you initially got the girl, that is exactly what was happening. She was reacting to you, wasn't she? She was experiencing you, wasn't she? That's why she had sex with you, right? But if she's not experiencing you, not reacting to you, guess what? She's not investing in you. She's not going to develop feelings for you. And like I said, if you were able to get her to do that in the beginning, and then she ended up dumping you later, it's because those roles were reversed, right? Slowly throughout time, those roles were reversed. And a lot of guys tend to do this in LTRs or any like long-term casual dating relationships that go beyond a few weeks. Slowly the girl starts to kind of overpower him, and then the guy stops living in his own reality and starts living in hers, where now he's experiencing her. She's not experiencing him anymore. He's experiencing her. He's reacting to her. He doesn't want to lose her, right? And then what happens? Chick leaves him because she's like, I thought this guy was alpha, but he's not. He's beta. Thought he was a champ? Nah, he's a chump. So that is number one. Okay? The girl must be living in your reality. She must be experiencing you and reacting to you. Number two, this should be very obvious. This kind of just reinforces my first point. Never let the girl lead your relationship. Okay? She should never lead your relationship. Even if you're just cold approaching the girl. If you ever watch me cold approach, I never let the girl take the lead. Right? Even if she's like, oh, you know, it's kind of noisy here. Let's go to this table. And I'm like, no, let's go to that table. And I'll just grab her. Right? Even if it's like, yeah, I kind of agree. Like, yeah, it is noisy here. She's like, let's go to that table. I'll go to a corresponding table. That's of my choice. Right? Especially initially, just to let the girl know, like, hey, you know, I lead this. I lead it. I'm kind of like subtly, subconsciously putting it in her head that, oh shit, this guy takes the lead, right? And I will literally grab her hand and I will lead her. I will always grab the girl's hand and I will lead her. And that's just me initially developing, just beginning to create the frame in our relationship, no matter how it goes. Whether I end up dating the girl, and seeing her again, or if that's just like a one night thing and maybe the approach goes bust, that girl's gonna leave going, shit, that guy was a leader. Maybe I messed up, maybe I goofed. And I've had a lot of these girls like come back and I ran into them again. They're like, oh, hey, hi, and then they approach me this time. So always make a point to lead the girl, whether it's cold approach or especially if you're in a relationship with a girl, you should be always leading that relationship. If she's making all the plans, if she's deciding what you're gonna do every single day, if she's telling you what to do and you're like, I don't know what to do. What should I do about this? I need your shoulder. I need to lean on your shoulder. I don't know what to do. I need you to be my mommy. You're done. You're done. Because now she doesn't trust you to lead, right? So it is very, very critical you constantly take the lead in your relationship because you need to keep injecting into your girl's head that you are a leader, right? And this should not be a technique that you're doing. It shouldn't be any of that. This should just be who you are. It should be who you are. You should know what you want as a man. And this is why I say over and over a gazillion times, you need to find your path and purpose so you could be on your own grind. Because when you're on your own grind and you're doing your own things, this type of behavior will come naturally. You won't even have to think about it. You'll just be like, come with me, girl. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, right now, it's like I have my business to run. I'm constantly traveling. I'm buying other businesses. And I'm just a busy guy. So with these girls, I'm constantly just leading organically. Sometimes I'm just so subconscious to it that some of the girls I date are like, can we just go to like this restaurant today? Is that okay with you? And I'm like, where do you want to go, girl? I want to go to this Italian restaurant. I've been telling you for 3 weeks. You want to go? I'll take you. Right? And then it's like a big thing. Oh my God, he's taking me. The girl's like texting her family. He's taking me to the Italian restaurant. Oh my God. It becomes a big thing because it's like, oh, any little thing you do is amplified when you're constantly taking the lead, right? Any little bit of inch of rope you give her, any bit of leeway, she's like, oh my God, she appreciates it. She values you all of a sudden. But for all you chumps who are constantly letting the girl take the lead and always make the decision, she's like, I'm going to this Italian restaurant. I don't give a shit what you say, you little man. You're coming with me. And you're paying. You're paying too. I don't care. We're going to this Italian restaurant. You're paying. Okay, dear, I'll pay. Just don't leave me. And then it's like that. She's not going to stay with you like that. She's going to end up leaving and cheating for a guy where she doesn't have to take the lead. Women hate taking the lead in a relationship, right? Does it mean to, again, like constantly 100% of the time, you're constantly like making all the plans and everything? No, obviously you can give a little leeway from time to time and it will be appreciated. It would be valued 1,000 times more than if you were constantly like giving her the lead or doing what a lot of these PC like SJW pussies do these days where it's like, oh, compromise, half and half, we're equal. Men and women are exactly the same. We're exactly the same, right? Equals. And then the girl's like running off behind that chump's back and cheating on him with a real alpha male. Just cheating on his ass because he's that much of a pussy. So always lead your relationship. Moving on. Number 3, this should be obvious. Don't buy her free gifts, guys. Don't buy these girls free gifts. Don't give them free dinners, flowers she didn't earn just because you don't have any game and you're trying to manipulate your way into her pants. Because all you're going to do is manipulate your way into her friend zone and you're going to have to keep paying for her because now you gotten her used to this type of beta provision or treatment from you to the point where she's like, oh, Chuck, I love going out with Chuck. Yeah, I don't have to do anything with him. I don't have to touch him. Gross, Chuck, gross. But you know what? Takes me all these nice restaurants. He just buys me things. I want a Tiffany bracelet, $5,000. He just bought me that thing. Ugh, Chuck. But I'm not gonna ever have sex with him. Right? You don't want to be that chump. Don't buy her free gifts, dinners, flowers, or anything she didn't earn. Okay? Girls have to earn these things. They have to earn these things. And that is how I filter girls out in my own life just because I'm so busy and I go out a lot. I'm constantly meeting new girls. It's amazing to me how entitled these girls are, but they just assume like, oh, you're doing well financially. You got a nice car, nice house. You could afford to take this. And I'm like, I can, but why you? Why should I do that for you? What have you done for me? Oh, I'm me. It's like, yeah, you're a pretty face, but what do you have beyond that? What have you done? What else you have going on beyond your look, besides your looks, right? I want to know more about the girl. And obviously a good girl would not expect you to buy her anything. She would not expect you to do anything for her like that, at least monetarily, right? This is something you should never do. Don't buy any girl free gifts, dinners. Don't buy girls free drinks either, by the way, you chumps at the bar buying these chicks free drinks. It just blows my mind to this day. I've been doing cold approach my whole life. From the 90s to the 2000s to the 2010s, the most repeated pattern of chump wussy behavior that I've ever seen is guys constantly buying drinks for girls they don't know. Why? So they can open up a conversation. And it's like, dude, if you want to open up a conversation, you don't need to have a drink in your hand to do it. You just go, you sit down, and you start talking to the girl. See if you even like the girl. See if she's not a bitch. See if she's nice. See if she's a good girl. Have a conversation going. Go bounce to another location. If she comes with you, if she actually comes with that location, then you could reward her, and you could buy a drink for her. And you know what? After you do that, you go, oh, you're going to get the next round, right? That's how we do it with my friends. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll have the girl buy the first round. I'll be like, oh, you going to get this? What? You're the guy. I'm like, I know, I'll get the second one. That's how we do it with my friends. Oh, okay. You know, a lot of girls have ended up buying me drinks that I just never got around to buying them a drink. It's like, either way, she will value you more when you don't do stuff like this, okay? So, that is number 3. Number 4 is you need to give her room to chase you. Stop blowing up her phone. Stop blowing up her social media, liking all of her dumb selfies and dropping these heart comments and these stupid emojis and with hearts on them. By the way, never drop an emoji with a heart on it. If you do, you are a blue pill simp to the core. Never drop an emoji with a heart on it. Just don't use that emoji. I forbid you. Okay, I forbid you. That is the most feminine emoji out there. So don't use that. And again, you need to give her room to chase you. Stop being so desperate. Stop being so thirsty and actually look like you have a life. Actually start going out there and actually start meeting other girls so you won't like resort to these very, very low value, weird, socially awkward behaviors where you're constantly just pushing and you're not giving her room to chase you. Right? You're constantly chasing her and you're not giving her any room to chase you. There has to be this give and take. You have to like give her a little and then she has to give a little bit back. And if she's not giving anything back, then guess what? You haven't built up enough attraction with her yet. You got to kind of go back to square one and start building up attraction with her. How do you build up attraction with her? You jump in mastery. That's how you do it because I teach you how to do that, right? We start by negging the girl and I teach you some of my most brilliant negs in the very first month of mastery. So if you're not in that program already, that's why you need to be in my program, 7 months of mastery. Quick plug, click that link below if you want to jump into 7 months of mastery. It's only $1 for the first month. So that is number 4. Give her room to chase you. Number 5, this is very important, guys. If she cheats, throw her back to the streets. You hear me? If she cheats, you throw her back to the streets. You give her back to the streets. Because once she cheats on you, man, that's it. You know, that behavior is just inexcusable. And you know what? Yeah, you probably didn't maintain your frame. Yeah, you probably went beta on her. You probably started simping to her, blowing up her ego, validating her 24/7, compromising with her, not acting like a man, but acting like some, you know, blue pill simp, some late night talk show host with his wife who's like banging Chad and Tyrone. So you've made some mistakes, but you know what? She cheated and you got to drop that girl because you can't trust her. Okay? You can't trust her. And the thing is, too, is like if I'm in a serious relationship with a girl, okay, and a lot of you guys mentioned, you know, not to beat a dead horse, but we talked about my ex from 2006, right? Why didn't you take her back? She was so sorry. She stalked you for 3 years trying to get back with you after she made a mistake and went to this other guy. For me, it's kind of like almost like an OCD thing where it's like once the girl is with me and we're in this like solid relationship, say we've been together a year or so, which with her, I was with her already a year, 2 years. We had known each other 3 years by then, but once the girl, after being in a close relationship with me, goes off and has sexual intercourse with another guy, for me, she's tainted. She's tainted, right? I don't want to be I don't want her coming back to me. You're tainted. It's like you know, taking my DeLorean and going off, you know, and disappearing for 3 months and driving it like ragged and abusing it, throwing it in first, and then when you're at 50 miles an hour, just like dropping it in reverse, and like the transmission's like clunking out of the car, and just totally like just abusing the crap out of my DeLorean, and then coming back 3 months later with the keys going, hey man, sorry I took the DeLorean, here's the keys. I'd be like, dude, that's yours. You own it now. Insurance paid me out. give me the money for it, whatever. But I'm like, it's yours now. I'm gonna get another one. I'll get another one that hasn't been tainted, right? This one's already tainted. So it's kind of like that, if I could describe it that way. So if she cheats, she belongs to the streets, okay? And then you have to just go move on, and you have to realize that you made some mistakes and you need to fix those mistakes and then move on to the next girl. All right, number 6 is you don't ever want to date out of scarcity, but abundance, okay? You never want to date out of the scarcity-based mindset and you need to go out there and find your partner, find your wife, because you feel so unfulfilled. You feel like life is so empty. I'm so lonely. I'm alone. That is something that you need to conquer within yourself first. Okay? You need to conquer that within yourself first, because if you go out and just find yourself a girlfriend, I guarantee you're still going to feel those bouts of loneliness. Maybe not as much because you got this girl with you, but you're still going to have bouts of loneliness. And then now it's going to be worse, because anytime that girl disappears on you, goes out with her family, or is just busy working, you're going to be paranoid. You're like, is she cheating on me? Oh my gosh, did she meet somebody? Is she at happy hour like M says? You're constantly going to be operating out of this very scarcity-based mindset, and you're going to feel even lonelier. You're going to feel even worse at times. So you never want to date out of scarcity. And it will, when you date out of scarcity, you're going to make a lot of bad decisions, right? You're going to tend to idealize the girl. You're going to pedestalize any girl that you meet. You're going to fantasize about girls that just kind of walked by you and might have smiled. You'll be thinking about this girl for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, crazy stuff like that guys in scarcity tend to do. And I don't want that to be you. So never ever date out of scarcity. Not only that, but also too, when you date out of abundance, it communicates to the girl that you actually have a life, and she will be more apt to and more attracted to you the entire time, where she'll want to stay with you, and she won't want to just bounce and jump ship on you, because she'll be like, shit, I don't want to lose this guy. The next girl will just get him, right? She'll feel that competition anxiety. So that is number 6. All right, number 7 on my list is never ever say I love you to the girl, okay? When I say this, I mean to never ever say I love you first. Okay, it doesn't mean you can never say it. Just don't be the first to say it. Give her room to say it first. I would say overwhelmingly, even when I was blue pill, every single successful girlfriend that I had, most every girlfriend I had actually said I love you to me first. I did not say it to the girl first. The times that I said it to the girl first, and I can think of them on one hand, those were the relationships that ended. Those were the relationships where that chick had the power. Those were the relationships where I was just getting my ass handed to me by the girl. And it was a mistake. So now I'm helping you to not make the same mistake that I did. You never want to say I love you to the girl. You always want to get her to the point where she says I love you first. Okay? She needs to get to the point where she says it to you first. And you're not sitting there telling her I love you first, because usually, overwhelming, I wish somebody would run a statistic on this, but I bet statistically, overwhelmingly, the guys who say it to the girl first end up losing the girl. The relationships where the girl says it to the guy first, it's always the guy who ends up leaving the girl first, or the guy who holds the power in that relationship. So the women who've said it to me first, those were my most successful relationships. Those were the ones where I was in control. The girl let me take the lead. She treated me like a man. She acted like a woman. She didn't try to wear the pants. Those were my best relationships, because I actually worked solid game on the girl, and I just worked it to the point where the girl would say it to me first. I don't even want to say game so much. It's just to the point where it's like, I'm so busy, I'm doing my own thing, I'm on my path and purpose. The girl could see the value that I'm providing, the lifestyle that I have, and she becomes part of that. Then it gets to the point where the girl just has to say it. She's like, I just have to tell you something. What? I love you. I just want to say, I think I'm in love with you. I think I'm in love with you. That's what the last girl said to me. I'm like, that's awesome. Cool. I don't even say it back right when she says it, right? You might think what a dick. Putting herself out there. It's like, no, I just kind of let it simmer a little more. I give her something to look forward to. I'll hug the girl. I'll hold her real tight. I'm like, that's so awesome. I'm so glad you feel that way about me. But I'm not going to say it back right then and there when it's expected. Maybe at some point in the future, even if I'm feeling it, some point in the future, I'll probably say it to her randomly when she's least expect it. That way, again, it's higher valued. She will value it more, and she will appreciate it more. All that will be amplified. So never say I love you first. Number 8 is never ever do this, okay? Never ask the girl to become your girlfriend or commit to you. Never verbalize that, okay? You should never be like, you know, been dating now a couple of weeks. So will you be my girlfriend? Do you want to just do a committed relationship, just me and you? No, you should never have to verbalize that. It should just be unspoken, right? I don't like to verbalize any of this. Like some girls I end up dating, I mean, they end up going, oh, that's my boyfriend. And I turn around, I'm like, who? No, you. I'm like, me? I'm your boyfriend? When did this conversation happen? Oh, you're not? Oh. You know, and then we get into it. But you should never verbalize it. It will come out, okay? Especially with a girl. It's just very low value to be like, oh, hey, so are you my girlfriend or what? I mean, imagine it this way. Put your mindset elsewhere, right? Imagine you're actually in abundance and you have just globs of attractive women, 8s, 9s, and 10s, wanting to be your girlfriend. You have the option of dating, but you're so busy working or running your business that you don't have the time to date these girls. And a few of these cute girls in your dating rotation that you're actually making time for are trying to ask you to be their boyfriend. Put it this way. These cute girls in your dating rotation, can you imagine like sitting there and actually ask them to be your girlfriend? You would be like, no, why would I do that? I want to keep my options open, right? I want to keep my options open and see what happens until one of these girls proves herself to be like a really badass chick. Like she's a badass chick. She's hot, she's beautiful, she's gorgeous, she turns heads, she's great arm candy, and she's smart, she's fun to hang out with. I enjoy being with this chick. She's feminine, she acts like a woman, she rubs on my back, she supports me, she doesn't try to wear the pants, she doesn't like disappear on me, she doesn't hide her phone, stuff like that. Then it's like, oh, okay. And then when she's like, hey, so are we together? Just me and you? That's when you'd be like, yeah, it's just me and you, girl. Right? That's when you know. But you don't sit there and go, hey, will you be my girlfriend? No, that's chode. That's chump. That's low value. Okay, so never do that. Too many beta males do that. Too many guys without this type of pickup and game training do that. You know, it's horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. And that's something that I did way, way back in the day. When I think I was like in junior high before I had any training whatsoever. I was like, oh, will you be my girlfriend? Back then we used to say, will you go with me? You guys were part of my generation. You'd ask a girl, will you go with me? Like younger generation, like, what? What do you mean, will you go with me where? Like back in the day when you asked a girl to be your girlfriend, it'd be like, hey, will you go with me? And then your friends would be like, are you guys going together? Just meant you guys are a couple. You guys going or are you guys just tripping? You guys remember that? Hey, you guys tripping or are you guys actually going out? Nah, we're just tripping. All right, so that is number 8. Number 9, never, ever, ever beg for sex. This is whether you haven't had sex with a girl yet, or especially if you already have. Never beg the girl for sex, because this, like asking her to be your girlfriend, this should just happen naturally through the events of you getting the girl so attracted to you that she can't keep her hands off you, that she wants to have sex with you, where she's the one who's basically almost begging you for sex. And basically with every relationship I've had, it's been like that. Even when I was blue pill, it's almost like, yeah, the sex never stopped. And it's usually, especially these days, just because I'm so busy, it's usually me just kind of like, maybe later, maybe in a few hours, I gotta finish work, I gotta shoot this content first, and then the girl's like getting upset, getting naked because I won't jump in there with her, and I'm like, I gotta do this content, I gotta stay focused, I'm sorry. Well, maybe somebody else will want me. You know, I'll always say something snotty like that. I'm like, maybe someone would, you're hot, of course they would, right? But never ever beg the girl for sex, because it's super low value. It just communicates to the girl that you're desperate, that you're in scarcity, that you don't have any other options but her. And that is the worst thing to communicate to the girl. It's like you have nobody else to turn to but her. Oh, I need you. I need you. I can't have sex without you. You know, it's like, no, I got so many other options. You don't want to have sex? That's okay. I don't need you for that, right? And that's the mindset you should take. And even when I was blue pill, that was the mindset I took with any of my girlfriends. Like the very rare occasions, I can think on one hand, like out of all the relationships I had, where the girl was like, no, I just don't feel like it. You know, it's like they were always usually pretty horny, right? And I think it was just the fact that they knew that I did pick up, I did game. Even though I was blue pill, they were like, shit, he got me. How'd he get me? You know, and then they would see like photos of my other girlfriends, they would always comment on that. Like every girlfriend I had would like look at photos of other girls I dated and they're like, how'd you get her? Oh my God. And it would kind of keep them paranoid, right? Like shit, he could go out and get another hot girl, even though he's acting kind of like blue pillish in this relationship. He can still go out and get women, and women will buy into his bullshit. How's that happening? But yeah, the sex never stopped. But I see a lot of guys begging for sex, and you should never have to. Just don't do it, guys. All right, and my 10th and final dating commandment for you is this: just accept female nature for what it is. Just accept women for who they are. You know, this is one of those hardcore red pill truths that I have to give you tonight. And this is my final one, number 10. You have to accept female nature. You have to accept that most of the relationships you get into just won't work out. A number of these girls will end up cheating on you just because you're not establishing your frame enough, just because you've not had enough experience, you've not had enough training, you're not in mastery, right? For whatever reason, these girls will just run off on you and do their thing, right? But that's okay. That's okay. You have to accept female nature for how they are. They're hypergamous. They are constantly searching for the BBD, and they're constantly looking to replace you, like I've said in many of my coaching videos. But you know what? There are a finite number of girls you'll meet throughout all those girls that won't do that, will actually be cool girls, right? And those are the ones that you're going to want to gravitate towards. Not these ones that want to be hypergamous or ride the carousel throughout their 20s, but instead these girls who are just looking for a good, high-value, masculine man that can take the lead in the relationship, relieve them of that responsibility, and just be the man, right? Just be the man, which so few guys can do these days. It's sad. I mean, it's sad because it's like this type of behavior was par for the course back in the 80s, even somewhat in the 90s, right? It started to dissolve after the year 2000, but this type of training was nothing special back then. This is just what you were supposed to do as a man, you know? But that is my 10th and final dating commandment for you, is just to accept female nature for what it is. You don't have to like go into this red pill rage about it and start hating women for it, being angry. I just said it's like a bee. I've said before, it's like a bee stinging you, right? Your bee stings you. Are you really mad at the bee? The bee is just doing what the bee does. It's just kind of like, oh shit, the bee got me. The bee got me. I wasn't paying attention. How'd that happen? But then you just keep walking along, right? It doesn't mean you're going to stop and start hating bees from now on. No, it's just like, okay, I'm just going to avoid these type of bees, right? And usually it's only female bees who sting. How funny was that, huh? It's only female bees, just like it's only female mosquitoes who bite. The male mosquitoes, the male bees do not bite, do not sting. And that kind of just is transcendental across from insects to humans. But in any case, you just have to accept female nature for how it is. I mean, I've been doing cold approach my entire adult life. You know, it took me a while to be red-pilled, and even after I was red-pilled, I still go out, I still do game, I still teach, I still do boot camps. I don't even need to do this anymore. I've mentioned before, I have other businesses and other interests, and I'm launching other stuff that financially can support me, so it's not like I need to do this anymore, but I continue to do it. It's like, why? Why do this? I love it. It's enjoyable to me. I love cold approach. I love walking up to girls I've never met and getting to know them. I like kind of understanding their psychology and what they're about, where they came from, what their story is, if they had a dad, if they didn't, why that happened, if they buy into feminism, if they don't, if they're traditional or conservative, how'd that happen, right? Especially, how do you feel about all your friends like promoting feminism in your face? What are your ideas on that? I love just getting to know people. Even if they're there with guys, a lot of times like the guys will be threatened because I approach the girls. And then I'll start talking to guys, and then they realize, like, shit, this guy's kind of cool. Because I'll start engaging them, like, where are you from, man? And, like, give them a bump. I give them their respect. And then I start hanging out with them. And then eventually they're like, come with us. We're going here. And then, we're going out as a group. And then all of a sudden, I met a bunch of cool friends, like both guys and girls, right? So you just have to accept female nature for how it is, right? It's just part of humanity. It's part of living in reality. It doesn't mean for you to get bitter over it. Doesn't mean for you to start hating women over it. Just you accept it for how it is, and you're like, hey, I'm going to engage in this anyway. It's just kind of like eating bad food, right? It's like you want to have a burrito or a plate of nachos. You know it's not good for you. You know that can make you fat if you eat it all the time. You know that, you don't have to. It's not healthy. You should be eating a bowl of fruit. You should be eating green salad. You shouldn't be eating that, nachos or a burrito or drinking that beer, but you know what? You just do it anyway, right? You do it anyway. Why? Because it just adds to the spice of life, makes things fun sometimes. It's just, you're giving yourself a break, right? You're just trying to enjoy your life. Life is short. You want to enjoy it. You want to meet people. You want to engage. And as humans, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to engage with other humans. So why not engage with hot, nice smelling, attractive ones? Right? So that is my 10th dating commandment that I am revealing to you in tonight's coaching video. And with that said, I'm going to wrap up here. Until next time, this is M from the 33 Secrets signing out. Do not forget to smash that like button below. Go ahead and smash it right now. Also, hit that notification bell right next to it so you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on the YouTube. More importantly, guys, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. Since they're not promoting my videos anymore, it helps me when you help promote it, because obviously my channel's still growing like crazy. But imagine if YouTube actually promoted it. I would get like so many more views and subscribers. But you know what? You guys are doing great. The channel's still growing phenomenally. So make sure you're subscribed. Helps me out a ton. For you guys who want to support all of this red pill, gold pill, and platinum pill content that I'm teaching you guys even further, the best way to do that is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I'm teaching guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, and most beautiful looking women on the planet. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s, the same exact type of women that myself and all of my coaching students all around the world out there and all 4 corners of the globe out there are constantly approaching and closing every single week. Day and night, I kid you not, every single week we are making it happen regardless of what kind of crazy virus is going on, regardless of what type of racial division is going on, what type of presidential elections are going on. We are constantly making things happen, constantly moving in life. We never stop moving and just living life at a higher paradigm, which I want you to live at. So that is the best way to support my work. And right now it's only $1 for the entire first month of 7 Months to Mastery, and it's real easy to sign up. All you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video.